Hey guys, welcome to my channel. It's so Sandy. If you've been here already before, you guys already know the drill. Make sure you go grab you a little snacky snack, a little drinky drink, and come back for this story time. If you guys haven't watched my last video on my pregnancy story, make sure you go watch that video first before you come back to see this one. Today's story time is about my labor and delivery story. This one is a little bit of a roller coaster. Before I get into the story, did you subscribe? The subscribe button is free. Make sure you hit that subscribe button. Make sure you hit your post notification bell so you guys can stay updated on my latest videos. It's free, 99. Click it. I'll wait. Did you subscribe yet? Okay, now we're besties. So let's get into my labor and delivery story. Before I get into me actually going into the hospital and giving birth and all that, let me give you a little synopsis of my last chunk of my pregnancy into my labor and delivery. Again, if you didn't watch my last video on my pregnancy story, make sure you watch that because it's gonna make sense here. So let me tell you a little bit of my physical changes in my body. I started walking a little bit more so I can start like getting prepared to deliver my baby. My body got even more swollen. I didn't know that that could happen because I thought already through my pregnancy, like how I started to get swollen, I thought that was the max, but no. I got even more swollen. I don't know if any of you other ladies ever experienced this, but your girl downstairs, you know what I'm talking about? Yeah, she was swole to the max, okay? My walks were like excruciating. If I walked for like a good 5 minutes, I felt like I was about to give birth. I felt like this is like my cervix, and I felt like my baby's head was like over here trying to come out, and I feel like my skin got a lot darker. I feel like I was getting even more swollen. My feet, my nose, my lips, like everything just started to swell. I hate that. Like I looked really crazy. It was not giving cute whatsoever. If you hear my baby in the back, yeah, that's my youngest one. He's doing his little ad libs in the back. At this point in my pregnancy, my baby father is super helpful. He's all on deck, like he's ready to go. He's excited now to be a dad. He apologized to me about his reaction to finding out that I was pregnant. Was he perfect? No, nobody's perfect, but he was trying. He was trying. Everything was copacetic, but what I will say is that him and his mom stressed me out. Guys, before I say this, I just want you to know that I'm not here to bash anybody, but this is my story and I'm gonna tell my story. And if you happen to be in my story, that's just what it is. And you gotta know how you were acting. Yeah, my baby father, he was definitely a mommy's boy, 100%. And it was giving his mom thought that she was his other girlfriend or wife or something. It was giving weird. The further along I got into my pregnancy, the more needy she became for him to give her attention and like throwing tantrums. Baby, it was giving telenovela, okay? I thought I was on Telemundo because shorty was doing the most. I'm not gonna get too far into that, but all I'm gonna say is she really started to stress us out because even he was like really starting to get irritated with her. I say this to say because it's gonna play out into my labor and delivery story, okay? I feel like also the way that people treated me the beginning of my pregnancy, the ones that weren't so supportive, I was being really cautious around them because you never really know what's like real, what's fake, like what are you really saying behind my back? I feel like I got even more private, you know? I just didn't want any negative energy around my baby, around me. I wanted to keep my circle small. Like my circle is a dot, and that's how I like it. Also, I want to mention at this time, my mom started coming around more and more. I feel like our relationship got so much better. My mom and I have a great relationship till this day, and I'm grateful. And it all started during my pregnancy. Now we're like chef's kiss. So now let's get into the juicy stuff. Let's get into how I actually got into labor. So towards the end of my pregnancy, during my doctor visits, my doctor told me, okay, you should be feeling the baby a lot more now. Every time that I eat, I should be feeling the baby move at least like 10 times. And this is how I know like everything is good. We're smooth sailing. 5 days before my due date, I was eating, but everything that the doctor told me that my baby should be doing, he wasn't doing. I'm like, you know what? Maybe I should eat some ice cream. Maybe I should eat something sweet so I could get the baby to start kicking. Because I wasn't feeling him so active that day. And then I started to panic. So I tell my baby father and I'm like, I'm scared. The baby's not moving the way that the doctor told me that he should be moving. I think we need to go to the hospital. And he's like, are you sure? Are you being over dramatic? I think the baby is fine. So I'm like, no, we need to go to the hospital because I need to make sure that my baby is in perfect condition. So he takes me to the hospital, and before we get there, I tell him like, listen, I don't want anybody to know that I'm at the hospital. I feel like when you tell people certain things, like people try to prey on your downfall, or like people got like evil eye on you, hence why I got my little mal de ojo. People be sending you evil eyes and, you know, bad wishes, and I don't want none of that on me, you know what I mean? And then also, like I said, like his mom, I remember her saying something along the lines of, oh my god, I already know that Sandy's gonna be just so dramatic when she goes into labor. I just know it. She's just gonna want all the attention and all that. I'm like, girl, bye. Do you want to be in labor, ma'am? Like, what are you talking about? I tell my baby father, just take me and then let's just be quiet. If anything happens, then we'll notify, like if I'm actually in labor. Let's just keep it on the hush. So we finally get to the hospital. The doctor checks me out. They put the monitors on my belly, checking the baby's heart rate. Everything looks good. Everything looks good. After they check me, they're like, all right, well, doctor says you're all good. You can get dressed and you can go. So I get dressed, getting ready to go, and I'm walking out the door. The nurse stops me and goes, hold on, hold on, hold on. I'm like, what? I'm leaving. And she's like, no, you know what? You're only 5 days away from your due date. You know, the doctor decided that he wants to keep you. And I'm like, what are you talking about? You just told me that my baby is fine. Everything is okay. Like, why are you guys keeping me? She's like, the doctor rather be safe than sorry. We just rather keep you. Can you imagine if I walked out before she even said that? Like, what could have happened? I don't know. Like, why did you change your mind last minute? That's scary to me. So now they put me back in the room. They make me get undressed, put the gown on, everything, right? They're like, you know what? We're gonna induce your labor. We just wanna make sure that everything is okay. And I'm like, induce my labor? The way that I pictured me giving birth, I pictured my water breaking. I picture rushing to the hospital. I got my bag packed and I'm running. I'm like, oh my God, I'm gonna have a baby. Like, you know, that's what I pictured for me. Like, so I'm like, induce my labor? What are you talking about, ma'am? This is not part of my birth plan, ma'am. A whole bunch of doctors come in, they come and check me out, and they're like, okay, we just want to make sure that the baby's okay. We're gonna start the process of giving birth. And I'm like, all right, now it's time for me to text my mom and like my close friends and my siblings. And I was like, all right, like I'm about to go into labor. Like I'm about to give birth today. They told me that they were gonna put a medication to start my dilation process. Cool, like we're gonna start dilating. So as I'm waiting, I hear a lady down the hallway and shorty is screaming at the top of her lungs. I'm shook. Shorty is talking about, oh no, sir, doctor, nurse, no, I gotta get my bag, I gotta get out of here. What do you mean? This lady is screaming at the top of her lungs. I'm packing me and my baby and my uterus and everything. We're out of here. I'm not giving birth anymore. Absolutely not. Pack it up. It's time to go. So you mean to tell me that I'm about to be screaming like this? Like I only heard those things in the movies. I didn't picture myself screaming like that. Shorty was screaming bloody murder. She scared me. At this point, I was like, you know what? I don't care. I'm about to just be pregnant for the rest of my life. I'm not giving birth. Discharge me, nurse. Discharge me, doctor, right now. Immediately. Stat. Pronto. The doctors come back in and I'm like, hello? Yeah. I don't think I could do this. I don't think I could do this. Can you discharge me? They're like, no, we're not discharging you. You're having a baby. So the doctors proceed with giving me the medication for dilation. I start dilating, and then now the contractions are coming. Baby. Once the contractions started to come, it was no more Mr. Nice Sandy, Mrs. Nice Sandy. No, I felt like I was the biggest bitch. I was getting mean with the nurses. I was sitting in like that chair for the dad, you know, that pull-out chair. So the nurses are like, ma'am, can you please get in the bed, sweetie? Sweetie, can you please get in the bed? No, I feel comfortable in this seat. I'm not moving. We need you to go in the bed if you go in labor. We need you to go lay down in the bed. I said, no, ma'am. These contractions are not giving that. The way I'm laying down, it's not comfortable. I don't like this. I'm sitting here. I was being a little bit difficult. So little by little, you know, I have family calling me. My mom's like, she's on her way. She's like, I'm on my way. What now? So my mom comes rushing to the hospital. My baby father tells his mom that I'm in labor and she's on her way. Fortunately for me, my ex's dad worked at the hospital that I gave birth at, and he came up to see me and he was regulating because he knew all the doctors and stuff, and he was like, no, she's not gonna get this doctor because he doesn't know what he's doing. I want this doctor for her. I want this, that. I was secured. My contractions start building and building. Every time they came to check if I was dilated, I was barely dilating. Time is passing by and my cervix is not doing what it's supposed to do. It is not dilating as much as they want it to dilate. I'm about to start popping squats and splits up in this hospital because I need this baby out of me. The way that these contractions feel, baby, I can't take it, honey. I can't. I don't know how you females do it with no epidural. Kudos to you, more power to you, because I don't know, I could never do it. So my mom catches me doing squats. I'm holding this counter and I'm squatting and she's like, now my mom's being dramatic because she's saying that I'm about to like do something crazy to the baby. She's like, stop, you're gonna mess the baby up. Go lay down so you could go and dilate. She forced me back in the bed. Now I'm in the bed, I'm getting contractions. At this point, 12 hours have passed by and I am still having contractions. I'm not dilating. Now let me tell you about this checking my cervix ordeal. Grab you your drink right now. Everybody that grabbed a snacky snack and a little drinky drink, grab your drink right now because you're gonna need it. Yeah. Where's my drink? Dang, I left my drink in my room. I was drinking some coconut water. Take a drink for me. You ready? Okay, because I have a background in healthcare, I know that in order for you to gain knowledge and skill and practice, you have to be able to practice real life, like clinicals, right? As the nurses are coming by to come check my cervix, this one nurse, she asked me, she said, hi, we have a student doctor and he's here, he wants to come and learn. Is it okay for him to come and learn? I'm like, you know what? Yeah, I completely understand. I've been in his position before. I mean, I'm not a doctor, but I understand what it's like to have to, real life, no mannequin, real life patients have to gain that experience. So I'm like, okay, no problem. He's about to check my cervix. Oh God. Not only is it awkward, I feel like he's like around my age, or you know, maybe a little bit older. No, he definitely was older. This man puts his gloves on and he's getting ready to go in. He takes his 2 fingers. Let me not get too graphic because YouTube, this is for educational purposes only. He goes in to check my cervix, no lube, and I clenched. I said, I look down at him and I see him like, I see him turn like this And he's like, you're gonna break my fingers. You're gonna break my fingers. You're gonna break my fingers. I don't know how far he went in. I don't know what he touched, but all I knew was that shit hurt. It hurt bad. My natural response was to clench. I tensed up, all the way up, and he was locked in there. And this is so awkward because my baby father is watching this like whole thing go on, and I'm just like, oh my god, like this is so weird. The nurse looks at him and she's like, did you use lube? And he's like, oh no, I didn't know we had to use lube. The nurse comes to me and she's like, sweetie, I need you to relax. I need you to relax so that he can just get him out. And you could tell like she was kind of irritated with him. Like, you should know better. I'm all for helping and letting students learn and stuff, but yeah, not when I'm giving birth ever again. Like, this is never happening again. Big mistake. 10 out of 10 would not recommend. After all the medication that they gave me, they go in with this long, I forget what it's called. They go in with this long stick with a hook at the end and pop my water, and I just feel the gush just all in the bed. And I didn't get to see it because obviously I'm laying back. I can't see anything past my belly. My baby father told me it was disgusting. So, I mean, I don't know what it looked like. As I'm going through contractions, I had one nurse come next to me and she's like, okay, sweetie, you got this. Just breathe. Shorty's breath, oh, my contractions must have stopped altogether because my attention completely went to her. And I'm like, the audacity for your breath to smell like coffee, cigarettes, and stank breath. And you have the nerve to come in my face while I'm already going through so much pain. I can't take contractions and your breath at the same time. Please, ma'am, stop. Go back to your nursing station. I should have you fired because that's horrendous. Yeah. So more time is passing by. They're still checking my cervix. I'm still not dilating. The furthest I got was only 4 centimeters. At this point, I'm in labor for 24 hours. So the doctor comes to me and he's like, listen, at this point, it's getting dangerous. We're gonna have to perform an emergency C-section. You have been in labor for way too long. And I'm like, C-section? Surgery? This is not part of my birth plan. I'm pleading with the doctor. I'm like, please, can you just give me a little bit more time? I'm gonna try to dilate some more, and it's just not happening. So they send me over to the anesthesiologist to go and give me the epidural. I get into the room with the anesthesiologist. The room is super cold, super sterile. Everything, like, it's just cold, and I'm shivering and I'm shaking and I'm scared because I'm about to have surgery. They didn't allow me to bring anybody in the room with me, not my baby father, not my mom, not nobody. They made me like cross my arms and like slowly bend over, stop. And they were like, do not move for anything, because if you move, you could do a lot of damage. And I'm like, oh my god, this is my spine. Like, you could be paralyzed. Like, so many things could go wrong if you move during your epidural. So I'm over here trying to be a statue and having contractions. They proceed to put the epidural in my back, and all I hear is crunch. I hear crunch. And it's a long needle. It's a really long needle. And I'm like, oh my god. Like, you need to be a soldier right now. You need to be a statue, and you need to be strong, and you got this. Like, I'm giving myself my own pep talks, and I'm hearing the crunch in my spine, and I'm just trying to ignore it, and I'm just praying, and I'm just like trying to get this thing over and done with as fast as possible. After my epidural, they sent me back to my room. Now, let me give you what's going on with my baby father's mom. So throughout all of my contractions, while my baby father's mom is there, she's doing her telenovela. as per usual, I'm on Telemundo again, and she's telling my baby father, "Oh, Sandy's not gonna let me be in the room. I hope I get to be in the room to watch the baby be born." Now, I already discussed that I only want my baby father in the room and my mom. This is before they told me I had to do a C-section. These are the only two people that I want in there. My mom gave birth to me, so she's seen my toti before. She gave birth to it, and your son has been in it. I don't want you looking at my vagine. Why do you want to be in here so bad? I'm not comfortable. No. So she's like, as I'm going through my contractions, she's stressing me out because all I keep hearing her is just like, Sandy's not gonna let me be in here. And my baby father keeps coming back to me. It's like, yeah, my mom said she wants to be in the room. And I'm like, bro, I told you no. I don't want that. I'm not interested in that. I'm going through contractions. Nobody got time to be having discussion. I don't have time to be on Telemundo right now. I don't have time for a novella. Please. She's throwing her little tantrums and just trying to guilt her son for her not being in the room while I give birth. Like, it's just too much. I just wish she just like would have respected what I said the first time. I'm not telling you to leave. I'm just telling you that you can't be in there while I'm pushing a baby out of my vagine. Please. So when the doctor told me that I have to do a C-section, he also told me that only one person can be in the room with me, which meant obviously only my baby father could be in there with me, and my mom had to wait out with her. And I'm like, it kind of worked out, but not really, because like I wanted my mom to be there, but like I didn't want to hear his mom complain this whole time. Like, it's just annoying when people make like your moments theirs. Like, it becomes their moment. I understand you want to see your grandchild be born, but also respect that I made a decision already. This is my body and my baby. After the epidurals set in, everything, we're ready to go. They wheel me into the operating room and they proceed to do the C-section. Now, let me tell you my experience. So now you're not nailed, but you're on the bed like this, laid down flat. You can't move your arms because I don't, well, they don't, do they strap you? I can't remember because I was on drugs. They pumped me up with a whole bunch of drugs, so I can't remember if they strap your arms down or not. But my arms are out like this. I have epidural going on. I could just move my head. I have a curtain in front of me, and this is all I can do. This is it. So they cut me, and then I just start feeling like my body is lifting off the table. I just feel like this. My body's jerking. My body's jerking on the table. And then I started to feel it. I started to feel, please, I'm not trying to spook anybody. If you're about to be in labor, please don't listen to me because your experience might be different. Everybody's experience is different. This is just my experience. I start feeling the pressure, and I don't know if I was feeling pain, pressure. I couldn't differentiate what was going on. And so I just start saying, I feel it, I feel it, I feel it. And the anesthesiologist is behind me and my baby father is next to me, and he's like, you can feel that? You can feel that? And so he pressed that button, baby. He pressed the button to give me more of the epidural. I didn't feel it anymore. All of a sudden, I hear my beautiful babies cry. And I'm just happy. I'm elated. But I'm on drugs too. So like I didn't cry or anything. I'm just like, oh my God. Thank God I heard my baby cry. I'm happy. I'm still alive. Thank you, Jesus. And I'm good. I will say my baby father did a great job taking pictures. He took great pictures and videos, and I'm gonna share them with you. This is my little munchkin. Yeah, he knows your voice.
Prior to incision.
The rupture membranes were clear, right?
Yep.
Okay, so this is just basically very typical.
Yep, baby just was high up in the pelvis.
Right.
Once my baby was born, they put the baby to my face. Gave my pumpkin a kiss. Mommy loves you. I didn't get to touch him with my hands because, you know, I was like this. After they stitched me up, they put me in the recovery room. I don't know the duration of time until I got to physically hold my baby. After that, I can't remember everything that was going on because like everything was moving so quick. After the recovery room, they put me into my room and I finally got to hold my baby, love on him, kiss him.
Just finished taking you out.
Your nails are long. What are you looking for?
He's cute.
So tired.
This is called skin to skin. That's just to heat him up. Ay dito, ay dito.
I feel like immediately after, I feel like that's when my postpartum kicked in. I feel like my postpartum kicked in immediately. So many things were going wrong at the hospital. I remember one of the days that I had sent my baby to the nursery, I kept calling the nursery to bring my baby and they would take forever to bring my baby. So me being the mama bear that I am, I got up with my C-section. And before I finish this, when you have a C-section, you can't cough, you can't sneeze, you can't laugh, baby, because it hurts. You feel like you're gonna tear open. Like that C-section, it hurts really bad. And not only that, I was over here trying to be a trooper and I was like, I don't want no oxycodons, I don't want no pergies, no, I don't want to be on drugs. I kept refusing all of the drugs that they were trying to give me until, honey, that pain hit me. I said, oh, nurse, come stat immediately. What? Oh, honey, no. I said, bring me the perks, bring me the oxys, everything. Make me a cocktail. I need it now. I need it now, honey. Bring it right now. I definitely learned my lesson after that. I never refused my medication. After a C-section, I had two. I never refused oxy or whatever they was giving me. I want all of it. Yes. I was over here trying to take a Tylenol for a C-section, a Motrin for a C-section. What is wrong with me? So anyway, back to me telling you about the nursery. So I keep calling the nursery and they're not bringing my baby every time I call them. So I get up with my C-section and I wobble. I wobble over there. I get to the nursery and I'm like, I've been calling, all hunched over too. I've been calling for my baby and nobody's bringing my baby over to me. They're like, oh my goodness. And mind you, the nurses are like, there's a group of nurses by the computer. They're cackling. They're laughing. They're kicking. They're eating their little donuts and having a grand old time. And there's babies in the nursery. And I'm just like, this is what you guys are doing while I'm calling and nobody's bringing my baby to me. Y'all are having a grand old time, kicking and eating donuts and stuff. And then I looked down and I saw one of the babies had like thrown up. The baby had a little throw up in the bassinet. And I'm like, what if this baby choked on his vomit? Because they put all the babies on their back. And so like I immediately I feel like that's when my postpartum started, right? So they're rushing to me and they're like, oh my God, why is this lady out of her bed? Like, I'm not playing with you. Give me my baby. So they start getting this baby ready, right? So mind you, my kids are mixed, right? My baby father, I don't know if they thought he was white. I don't know. They prepared this baby, didn't check my bracelet. I don't think the nurse really checked because when she asked me to read my bracelet, I read it to her and she was like, yeah. Like she quickly just, I don't know, she skimmed it, what she did. She wrapped the baby up and she gave me the bassinet. Now I look down at this baby and I'm confused. I'm like, this don't look like my baby. And the baby's eyes were closed and he blinks open. This baby got blue eyes. I pull the hat back. This child got blonde hair. I said, ma'am, this is not my baby. I did not give birth to no blonde hair, blue eye baby. This is not my child. I know you think my baby father is white, but he's not. And none of us have these features. This is not our child. And she's like, are you sure? Ma'am, be for real right now. This is like what you see in movies. Like, I could have taken that baby. I could have breastfed that baby. You know what I mean? I could have anything. Like, what are you doing? So she takes the baby back and she goes, oh, like, oh, my bad. And she's looking for my baby and I'm like, he's over there. He's that one right there. I could just see, I know my baby. So she's like, okay, read me the bracelet. Now she wants to take her time because if I report you, now you're going to be in big trouble, ma'am. She reads the bracelet. She gives me my baby. And now I'm not going to ever give my baby to the nursery. No, because at this time they had this rule where every time the mom was going to go to sleep, there was like no co-sleeping. Like the baby was not allowed to sleep in the room if you were sleeping. The baby had to go back to the nursery. And I was like, I'm about to stay up all night like this unless somebody's there with me physically to watch the baby, because I'm not giving you my child. Like, I was hyper vigilant. I didn't want anybody around him. I didn't want him in the nursery. I didn't want nobody to touch him. Like, I feel like that's when my postpartum episodes started happening, but I didn't know. If you guys didn't see my postpartum video, make sure you please go and watch that after you watch this video. So let me tell you guys about a little bit of my recovery before I went home. So they would send the CNAs to come and do like aftercare for the mom and like wash your vagine and all that. Why one of the girls I used to work with was assigned to me and she had to come and wash my vagine. I said, no ma'am, we used to work together. You're not about to come and wash me. I'm gonna wash myself. And she was like, girl, if I don't wash you, like, I'm gonna get in trouble. And I'm like, sis, no, you could stand out the door and I'll wash myself, because that was crazy. After having a C-section, it's so crazy. Like I said, you can't cough, you can't sneeze, you can't fart, you can't nothing. Like, I was so hunched over and it hurt so bad. I cried so much. And at this time, I'm 21 now, and my mom had to come in the shower and wash me. Shout out to my mom. My mom washed me from top to bottom and all in between. Shout out to all the Haitian parents, because that's regular. That's not weird. Like, I don't know, for other people that might be weird, but in my culture, like, that's not weird. My mom's like, I gave birth to you. Like, what are you talking about? Like, girl. So my mom washed me when I couldn't. Shout out to my mom. So appreciative of her, because there were parts I could not reach and it was very painful. So let me tell you guys about us leaving the hospital. I think I spent about 5 days in the hospital. I was excited to go home and get away from those nurses and take my baby home. On the day that we were going home, it was so hot. And the outfit that I had for my baby was like a warm outfit. He had a hat, a long sleeve shirt, and like a little, like, you know, cute little outfit. But it was so hot outside. My baby was born in August. So I was like, oh my God, like, am I cooking my child? Like, is this too hot for him? Like, once you become a parent, you never stop worrying. Like, you're constantly worrying about everything. This is some footage of me and my baby going home. Joelle's going home today. You see the world, Jojo?
I'll take all the shady roads.
Okay, let's just get home fast. Ooh. Ooh. Look at my baby. It's hot today. He's like, where am I? What is this place? I feel the wind. Huh, puppy? Look. He's like, do I knock out? Do I keep looking? Where am I? Wow. He's so cute in his car seat. If you guys like this story time, make sure you guys like, comment, share, subscribe. Let me know what you guys want to see next. I love you guys so much. Hit that subscribe button. It's free. Join the tribe. It's a vibe. I'll see you guys in the next one. Bye.